You're listening to the Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
Ruby Rose, welcome!
Hi, guys. Hi. It's
Ruby.
so good to see you guys again.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
so long.
How long since you've been home?
5 years.
God, I hate to take off-air conversations to on-air, but what were you just saying before we went to...
Look, I was a really big fan of you on Celebrity Apprentice.
I don't need to bring that up.
And you were my favourite, and I do really think you should have won.
Ruby, right.
But controversial, but you were just magnificent.
Don't bring that up.
They took the show off air
What do you
after
mean?
he was on it.
No, they didn't, because they asked me to be on it.
Did they really?
Yeah, and I almost did. And
You
then I
would be
didn't.
great on that.
I don't know. It seems very stressful.
Massive commitment.
Give me some of the reality shows that you've been asked to do over the years.
Oh, my God.
Well, Dancing with the Stars, which will never happen
Yes.
because I cannot dance.
Yes.
The singing one, the
Right.
Masked Singer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you been asked to go to the jungle? I'm a celebrity.
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Probably 100 times, I would have thought.
I think I'd actually be quite good at that one.
Farmer Wants a Wife. Have you been asked to?
No, but I'd probably do that one because I'm so close to. But you just asked me again, taking an off-air conversation on air. But you asked me if I still live in LA, and I'm so close to buying a farm. I'm just so
Are you
ready
really?
to buy. Yeah, and I've been looking, and I want a farm and all my dogs and animals, and so I could be the farmer in Farmer Wants a Wife.
When you're in Sydney, you think about farmland, and I love it. But the Southern Highlands, of course, which you know, have a phenomenal farmland and life. Where in LA do you go for farmland?
It would be like New York up north. But
right.
the thing is, I'd actually rather be back home. But the problem is I have 3 dogs and they're all a little special.
Right.
One can't walk, one's blind, and I don't think that they'll even get through quarantine. I mean, I think
right.
they'd literally send them back instantly.
You'd be like the Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
You'd be the new Johnny Depp.
That
Amber.
was one of my favourite videos, though.
No. So you would honestly think about coming home? You're homesick?
I am very homesick, yeah.
Come home.
Yeah, I would love to. I've got to figure out the dog thing, you know? But I would love to be
Tommy,
home.
can we work with the government on Ruby Rose's dogs, please, if you can get onto that and
Yeah,
get
I've
her
heard
home.
you guys are
We
the
did
ones
the
to
dog
talk about.
stuff.
Yeah.
Famous for it.
You are an ambassador. This is a great partnership that you have here with Hilton and a charity organisation called Minus 18. Now, it's a new initiative that aims to give more LGBTQIA plus young people in Australia the right to free, inclusive and empowering school formals. This is a really special thing for you that you want to get involved. So are these special events that you're putting on for these kids that feel like they're excluded from these things?
Yeah, that's right. And actually, so I'm sort of the ambassador for the Hilton relationship with Minus 18, which is an ongoing relationship. And what they're doing is the fundraiser tomorrow, there's sort of a gala. I'm DJing, which I also haven't done in 7 years.
Wow.
And I'm just a ball
You're
of
on.
nervous energy.
Give us one song that gets the dance floor going. What's one song?
You know what? Because it's a queer event, G-Flip. I've put together a little
so
remix
good.
for G-Flip, and I just
So
love
good.
them.
She's so good. Yeah. So this. How many kids have you got going to this event? Is it
Well,
huge?
I think this event that I'm doing tomorrow is a gala, which is sort of more about getting more exposure for the event, trying to get donations that will go to Minus 18. And then what will happen then is the formals will come after that, which I hope I can also come back to DJ for. But when I was offered, I was in the middle of doing a film in Greece, and I had also thought that I would be performing to all these underage kids. And then I found out it's like a very, it's like a gala, and there are like important people there. But I'd painstakingly removed all the swear words out of and anything inappropriate out of every single song, and now all these people are going to be listening to these bleeped out, and there's I'm so there's that. But yeah, it's mostly to raise awareness and also just to let people know that, when you're traveling, the Hilton is a place that you can go. It's inclusive. They have people that are working there that are queer in places like India and China.
It's a great idea.
It is really tricky when you're traveling overseas as a queer person, especially in countries where it's not as celebrated, to say the least, to not know if the hotel is going to allow you to stay there, if they're going to allow you to stay there in the same room as someone that you're with. And I had a similar thing happen in Israel recently, but it was fine because I was just with my best friend. But we were just getting a hotel and we were just going to stay in the same hotel, and they had the 2 single beds, and we were like, oh yeah, of course, all right, yeah, cool. I feel 9 again.
Yes.
But but they were wonderful.
Have you?
Yeah.
But, and actually, Israel and Tel Aviv is actually incredibly LGBTQ friendly, which was so surprising to me. But the hotel did make me laugh. So it's a nice. This is ongoing in the way that also minus 18 are helping them with formals that do get held at the Hilton by giving them sort of guidelines, helping the school figure out like how to support people so they feel free and happy.
Back in your day, you wouldn't have had that. Do you have memories of your formal? Did you have one?
What did you do?
I don't. Yeah, I was trying to remember this. Clearly, it wasn't a great
was your
experience
dress?
because I
Do
don't.
you remember what you wore?
I certainly didn't wear a dress. I wore
it a suit?
white suit. Yeah, which is just a terrible idea. And I had a faux hawk, a blonde faux hawk with some pink tips, and I sort of gelled the sides back. I don't think I was actually invited because I just wasn't very cool, but it wasn't the school's fault. It just was sort of organised by the popular girls, which was a bit weird.
Yeah.
And I just have a distinct memory of turning up, not having paid or actually been invited, but everyone telling me to come with a friend of mine, and just the popular girls like reading out the sort of awards. They do this sort of award, but they were also just winning all the awards.
Yeah.
and I just remember being like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm trying to prove, and then I remember leaving very early.
This feels a bit rigged.
I don't remember dancing or anything, but I do have horrible photos that I'll live with for the rest of my life from it. Yeah.
We all go through it doing that. I wore a novelty bow tie, which was a water pistol.
I feel like you would do that now.
No, I would not
That doesn't seem
now.
like a stretch.
Ruby Rose, I would not do that now. I'm just looking back on it going, oh, hey, how you going? Squirt, squirt. What a loser. Thanks, mate. I'll do that.
I'll do
What
that.
about you, Fitzy? You probably look like such a hot guy.
I had a yellow cummerbund and...
What is a cummerbund?
Oh, that's the big...
You've got to get your wording right. Yeah, cummerbund, and it's like the strap
it's
thing
like
that goes...
it's like a belt, a silk belt that goes around there.
You know when you see
it was
those?
lemon and a bow
like
tie.
a jujitsu? Like what? Like
No, not martial arts. It's like a thick silk strap
Sort of
that
a
goes along here.
It's a formal accessory that men wear. I got it from Ferrari Formal Wear. I hired the suit, and I asked two girls to go. They said no, so I ended up going with my best friend, and we went in a mate's in the back of the tray of a ute, and he went over a speed bump too fast, and I fell off the back of the ute and injured myself.
Oh,
and
that's brilliant.
My shoulder was stuffed at the formal.
I'm now seeing a photo of a cummerbund. I've never seen that in my life, and I don't know who came up with that, but that's a terrible idea.
I don't know why it's called a cummerbund.
You look like it's like a waiter's.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Wipe your hands.
It was horrific, and I had hair back then. I actually looked alright, but no one wanted to go with me, Rubes.
Oh, mate.
Why do you think that? Do you think maybe those two girls went together? I think that could be the moral of the story.
That could be it.
Yeah.
I think you've summed it up in one.
There was another story about you down at the local beach too, wasn't there? And with the crumb sausage.
Oh, no, not when Ruby is
No, but
here.
that sort of damaged your reputation a little bit.
Oh, my gosh. No, we're talking your career at the moment because...
Yeah, but that did sound quite juicy.
really
Can I
good
Google that
story.
later?
Fitzy crumb sausage.
So are you...
Wow.
No.
It's very early in the morning for this.
So are you working on anything at the moment? Movies, television shows?
Yeah.
What about the book?
Yes, all the things, right? So I just finished a film and then started another film that I just finished 2 days ago.
Right.
Flew to LA, flew straight here.
That was correct. The one in Greece?
The one in Greece, yeah, and a bit of in Bulgaria as well, and that was with Ava Green, who was just sensational.
Can you talk
Martin
more about
Campbell. Yeah, it's probably the first film I've done where I feel like, and this is not to discredit my previous work, but it was a real acting piece, and I felt there's just a lot of things that have changed in the last sort of 5-10 years, and I feel like a very different person. I also have access to my emotions now, which is why I get so much more nervous. I had a meltdown on whatever the Today Show this morning or whatever that...
Because this is like the first interviews you've done for a long time.
Yeah, I'm a lot more private now. It's me, my dogs, and I love acting, but the personality side of it and the press side of it, I find a little bit daunting and overwhelming.
Is that why you've written the book? Is that you wanted to share everything that you were private about before?
Sort of. I do want to so I was in Greece shooting this film, which is really quite a tricky, it's about the 2021 Afghanistan,
Wow.
Bringing the troops back, which was a real mess and really horrible. So it's a really serious film, long hours, and then for whatever reason, I'm like, and to kind of get... To sort of leave that job at the door and I'll just start writing this memoir that's incredibly traumatizing. And so I'm writing that and I had, I guess, a bit of a trauma reaction and then posted online, something stupid like, so many people are going to be angry, when that's sort of not really the truth. I just was really kind of hurt in that moment, and definitely lashed out, and I need to be away from social media in those times. What it will be is it's not so much a tell-all of like, here's my story and feel sorry for me, or whatever it is. It's really important to me that I do clarify some things, some truths that were really not cool, and there's some things that I do want to talk about.
We need to talk about your previous relationships as well, because that's the big one that you put up on Instagram, Rubes.
Yeah, because that's what I was writing about at the time.
Right.
And to be honest, I stumbled across a picture from Pitch Perfect 3, the premiere, and I'd forgotten that just how, I'm emaciated, I'm dissociated, I look so broken, and I got filled with rage because I was like, how did I let it get that bad? And why was I, and so that's why I wrote what I wrote. But what the book really is, and what matters to me to kind of change the narrative of it, is it's not some sort of tell-all, or like Prince Harry, where it's sort of, here's my, it's sort of, here are some things that happened that are pretty hard. And this starts from, birth. This is not just like recent whatever. Yeah. And here are the things that worked, and here are the things that didn't. Here are maybe some unhealthy coping mechanisms that I developed, and here are the ways to sort of break those, and how to find, healthy coping mechanisms, and how to kind of find your way through dark times in a way that, you can kind of keep it together and find inspiration and light. I want it to be more of a inspiring book as opposed to a, it's not a revenge book, and it's not a gossip book. And
how do you think it will be received, though, from previous relationships? Because, you did say the truth, it will piss a lot of people off, but maybe you should have been better, excited to be free, excited to tell the truth. On the sisters, your first, how horrific you were.
Oh, you want chapter 5 of the Veronicas? Is that what you're looking for?
Actually, that isn't all about those girls.
No.
The bit that says... Yes, that's quite clearly...
Is that hard to do?
To
write, to go back and go
very,
through.
Very, and I shouldn't have been doing it, at the same time as a film in Greece at midnight, and doing the research, because that's what I have to do, is research times, dates, make sure. And seeing that picture, I realised how, and I haven't been the same.
Were you
since.
with Jess then?
When?
Sorry. When
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
and,
okay.
Around that time.
And so it brought back a lot for me, and it's definitely not a book I should be writing without my therapist, which I have been writing whilst talking to her, but I didn't at that time. But the other parts are more about other things that have been said about, when I broke my neck and I was almost paraplegic, getting sort of controversialized for things that didn't happen, because that's just how, the Hollywood industry can be. And there's just a lot that I've stayed silent on, because I was already at a place where I didn't want to be adding flame, to the fire. I also didn't think that everyone was going to keep doubling down on these things because I was silent. Yeah. I thought that was the right, it's like if you ignore the bullies, they go away, or, I got taken advantage of because people knew my hands were sort of tied, and that I don't want to create more of a fuss of a situation.
Your world is wild.
Hence why I don't.
You've done it all.
It's been amazing. Wow. And you're here for a special reason. If you want to learn more about Hilton and Minus18's formal program, you can head to minus18.org.au. But it's so good to have you back in the country.
Thank you. Yes, and while you're visiting the Minus18 website, please donate, because all of that money helps them put on these queer formals that are so important. Yeah. And so, just integral. And that's why I'm here, and I'm really stoked to be here for that.
Love it. Great to see you.
Good to see you guys, man. You look great. Thank you.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Wippa podcast.